Hi, I'm Leo. I'm the developer of Ferocious and the creator, you could say. Started as a garage project and now presenting it here at the GDC with Unity. Big honor.
So Leo, what is Ferocious? What kind of game is this?
It's a single-player game, narrative-driven. It's about exploring like this Lost World-style island full of prehistoric animals and fantastical creatures. It's all about making this place feel as alive and dynamic as possible.
What were some inspirations when making this game? I mean, one that comes to mind that's more recent is like Kong Island.
Absolutely, yeah. I loved King Kong, the movie, the game. One of the first games I ever played, so it definitely left a big mark on me. But also games like Turok or Jurassic Park, of course.
Turok, that takes me back.
Yeah, absolutely, like great style. And what else? Also Crisis, like I remember when I was young and it came out, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
And since then I always wanted to make something that has the same effect maybe. They're not on the same scale. I mean, Crisis is unbeatable, but I always chased like making this alive feeling world, making it interactable, making it feel like, it is actually dynamic and physical and not just a backdrop. I really like that about Crisis.
Your game, lots of water, lots of foliage. What are some of the difficulties when doing that in the Unity engine?
I think this is actually something that Unity is pretty great at, because Unity is so flexible and it's very easy to prototype things, and it was pretty easy to set up a fluid simulation for the water or like the interactive foliage. Was easy to do. The more tricky parts I would say was actually the lighting of the water, because integrating like completely new lighting techniques in the current render pipeline, at least I don't have so much experience with that, and I found that a bit tricky. But the fluid simulation and everything was pretty straightforward, actually.
What did Unity open up for you creatively or technically to make your game a reality?
I mean, in a way, I'm very biased because I grew up with Unity, so I've been using it for 12 years since I was 15. But what I always loved about is the flexibility. Like, I have an idea, I can just sit down and do it. I almost never feel like I have to fight against the engine to make what I want to do. It's like all the basic tools are there, and it's up to me to put them together. I prefer that over having like very high level stuff, but if I want to do my own thing, I have to fight for it. Unity, I feel like, gives me all the tools to build my own tools, and I love it.
As technology evolves on a hardware and new CPUs, new GPUs every other year, does that affect the development at all in a good way when you have more power released every other year by NVIDIA or ATI?
That's actually a great question. I think I remember when when Crysis was like insane, and now basically every laptop can run it, and I think it's kind of this. It's induced demand, the right word. The better the graphics card, the more you push it, and in the end you're still going to struggle to hit your 60 FPS. So I think I love it because it gives me so much creative freedom, but it also sets the bar higher. So in the end, I think the problems stay the same. You always will have to optimize and cut corners, and I think that will always stay the same.
So do you have a release date for your game, an idea of when it'll come out?
Not yet, but it's still some time in the future. We're quite early.